Obviously, we won those. And then we decided we were good enough to play in a league, and he invited me to play in.
Like Byron, Chris, me.
Oh! Big three!
Spartans rule, Reese's drool.
On the wall. Yeah, it was just so fitting because Fleming's getting.
But we were watching videos of me, you, David.
You?
Yeah.
What kind of shit he was?
Bo, Dan Lewis, Trung, Tomlin, myself, with Helene and.
It's because Yams lets her play do the talking.
Where Trump just talks.
Yeah, he does. Is this camera ready?
3,
2,
1.
Dodgeball!
Woo! I did this.
What the
Very nice.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to 321 Dodgeball. I'm your host, James, and I'm here today with our awesome panelists.
Debs.
Son, Raph,
Enzo.
Justin?
And,
Yeah, I thought so.
and today we have a special guest with us,
the eager
Very eager, Justin.
Mr. Tuesday Night Director. So Tuesday.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
Justin Tuesday.
Justin Tuesday.
It's like I was meant for this.
Holy.
So yeah, basically Justin has been in the league for a very long time, so we'll get him to introduce himself, how he got started in dodgeball, what his role is in VDL, and everything else dodgeball related.
Cool. Well, yeah, like James said, I've been playing for quite some time, VDL Season 5, but some people may not know, but I started off in CDL. I think it was Season 2, just after they started. And I got introduced to it through Matt Hung, who plays with me on Recess. We went to school together, and we did a lot of dodgeball intramurals at BCIT. Obviously, we won those. And then we decided we were good enough to play in a league, and he invited me to play in CDL, and that's where I met Mark Williams, who some of you may or may not know. They were our rivals at BCIT, and we didn't believe him when he said there was a dodgeball league, just like many other people when we tell them there's a dodgeball league now. But yeah, I got introduced there, started there, and then as time went on, we decided to try out a VDL, because we're like, CDL, there's got to be a VDL, because Vancouver's a lot bigger than Coquitlam. So lo and behold, yeah, there was VDL, and they were in their 5th, 6th season, and that's when we brought a lot of our school teammates, actually, and maybe one or two from CDL, to play as Sack Attack in Season 6 in VDL. Yeah,
Wow.
that's where pretty much the beginnings of Recess kind of started.
Yeah.
It was me, Matt Hung, Stella, and Yams were sort of the original 4 there.
Yeah.
And then I think a season or 2 after that, our schoolmates decided to they didn't want to play anymore, and then we decided to come up with a new team, and we added Travis, Rob, and Nathan to the roster. And yes, and then we
This is
became
college, right?
Recess as you know us now. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got started.
Did you meet Rob, Travis, and Nathan in CDL? Or?
Yes, I met them like playing against them in the CDL. Rob was like on Yellow Fever, Sex Wax, or something, one of those teams.
What's the team name?
Yellow Fever was one, I'm pretty sure, and the other one was Sex Wax, I think. Don't hold me to it. And then Travis, I can't remember what team he played for, because it's been quite a long time now. But yeah, that's pretty much where I met them, and then we all got together, and we hit it off really well, and as you know, we're still together as
You're like family.
pretty much.
Mine's Rob.
Just like family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stuart Rob going to Europe, England, wherever he is now.
Yeah, he's coming
Hate you, Rob. It's not the same.
We miss you, Rob.
You gotta
I mean, Nathan, you're good too. Yeah. So that's pretty much sort of how I got started in dodgeball, pretty much.
Sweet. And what's your current role right now in the VDL?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Well, I decided, I think after a few seasons of playing VDL, that I really enjoyed sort of the product that they were not necessarily selling, but what they were exemplifying in the gyms that we were playing. and I think I applied in season 8 or 9 to just become a league coordinator, kind of like the league ops, so the people that just help out in the gyms every night that you guys see. Believe it or not, too, I was actually a lot more shy back then, and I actually didn't like or didn't want to do league ops because of the
Public speaking.
the public speaking and being like the front line sort of thing is very nerve wracking.
Yeah.
And I was actually in programs which at the time was strictly dealing with like clinics, 101s and stuff. I thought that I could either learn from there and contribute more there by helping people get better. So that's what I originally wanted to do, but it just turned out that we had to do league ops anyways, and it actually worked out quite well for myself. After I can't remember how many seasons, I moved up to being the director of one of the nights. I've gone through all the nights as a director except for Mondays. I was pretty much held down by Claudia for most of the time, but I've gone through as Thursdays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays now. So, yeah, that's pretty much my role. I look after everything happens on Tuesdays right now. Pretty good. I really enjoy it, especially I really like Exhibition Week, which is why I was quite upset that we missed it last week because of the snow.
Yeah.
Just being like that really good first impression for new teams at 101, that's my favorite part, is really big for me. So not being able to do that kind of sucked. It doesn't get it off on like the foot that I would normally like to get it off on. So I was kind of bummed about that, but hopefully week 1 coming up will be pretty good for us. I've got a good team with me, and looking forward to the upcoming season.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know with your question?
Oh yeah. Tell us about being exec. Why do you still do it?
It was 10 years, right? Or over 10 years.
Oh yeah, over 10 years as an exec for sure. Season 9 to now, it's pretty close to 10 years actually. But the league itself and the people in it and just the spirit and how fun it is the biggest reason why I keep coming back. As an exec, I like being able to sort of facilitate that and either drive that force to I guess inspire or want people to keep playing. I love the interactions, the social aspect of dodgeball. You know, I wouldn't have met you guys otherwise, and I also meet a lot of people that I'll say may or may not be within the usual cliques or groups that have developed in the league, and there's a lot of good and fun people out there in whatever tier, whatever skill level, and being an exec sort of gives you a really good kind of I'll say hall pass to be able to just openly talk to those players and start that sort of interaction and relationship. Just because I guess maybe as a player it may not be as easy, it might be a little bit hard to initiate. But as an exec, it's so much easier because you have your red shirt and people know why and what you're doing there. So, throughout the night, if you're just looking to, talk to someone, you can just walk up and say hi. Whereas maybe if you're yourselves, it's a little bit more intimidating to be able to do that, especially for, I'll say, maybe a lower tier person to talk to someone who they really look up to in like tier 1 or tier 2 or something like that. We don't really have that sort of barrier for us execs. We were pretty easily able to talk to lower and upper tiers just because we have that, I'll say, authority with the red shirts that we wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the biggest reason why I keep coming back. It never stops getting old, unlike myself. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think anybody or anyone in the league can, I think, vouch for kind of what I'm saying in one way or another. They can relate to it. Either they met someone who are really important in their lives now or something like that, because there's a lot of work teams and stuff like that, high school friends, longtime friends, family friends that you'll see play, and it's just really good to see each season in and out. Right? So.
Were you also since you started in CDL, were you an exec in CDL as well, or just?
No, I actually only played CDL like full seasons, maybe season 5, 6, 7, like 4, 5, 6 seasons before I became like full-time VDL.
Yeah.
Just because like the distance for me to travel to Vancouver was like slightly closer than Coquitlam, and VDL had 4 nights of play, and I wanted to play more.
Oh, okay.
Whereas CDL, only has like the Wednesdays that they play.
Yeah.
So I like the competition out here a little bit more, and it allowed me to get better, right?
Yeah.
By playing more nights than just the Wednesday. So I used to play like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday VDL, and then Wednesday CDL. But as I'll say, the competition kind of changed, I kind of went the other way. Yeah.
I know also like with the introduction of like SDL, a lot of players kind of shifted towards SDL instead of like CDL. Is that how it sort of happened? Like, because I've never played CDL before.
Yeah.
But I know there was a lot of people that were playing CDL.
Yeah.
Back then, even like they were doing VDLs and then CDL. But then when SDL came, I know that some people were just like, oh, I'm just going to play SDL, even though SDL doesn't play Wednesdays, it's just Tuesday and Thursday. But they're like, oh, I'll just play SDL. It's closer, or competition. Yeah, competition as well. Do you know like how the I guess the state of how CDLs is right now? Do you still talk to some of the people that were running CDL or whatnot?
Yeah, if I still go out that way, I might hang out at Woody's, which is like their East Side craft.
East Side,
like, like a lot better. If you guys ever have a chance to go out to Woody's on Wednesdays, I highly recommend. It's super fun. It's what the CDL is known for. They're more recreational.
Party.
All about the party and everything, which is totally cool. I kind of lived up to that, and I brought a lot of that over into VDL, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you, CDL. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I think that came to be, but distance is always a big part because there's so many leagues now.
Yeah.
People are able to choose which one they want to play in based on distance. But if you ever do get to play in CDL, it's super fun. The people are amazing, even more social than VDL, I would think. Even much more easy to talk to in there. You really don't have to worry about initiating because usually other people will, which is really good, I think, and builds a better community and environment. And if you ever get a chance to go out there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You get a really good feeling when you go out there.
How come they don't have? Because I remember when I was like in my first couple of seasons, Pushy Penguins was always a CDL.
Oh man, those guys.
Yeah. Like how come the CDL guys don't have a team in VDL no more? Is there? Do they even still play? I know. Domingo doesn't really play anymore.
Yeah, no, Darren Domingo doesn't play anymore, I don't think. But there used to be a few CDL teams that made the trek out here to play in VDL. But
and they were always fun to play with too.
No, exactly, right? You could tell who the CDL teams were. And I think a lot of that had to do with just the commute. I think had a lot to do with it. As time goes on, lives change, people grow up, and things happen, right? Families start, and less priority gets put towards dodgeball, at least for a certain time. And at least as far as I know, I haven't asked those teams personally why they may have stopped, but I do remember that there were a number of CDL teams that played here in the VDL.
Yeah.
And then after a little bit, it just kind of maybe tapered off. I'm not sure, but they may enjoy the more recreational, fun atmosphere of CDL a little bit more. Maybe more so than VDL.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Who are your favorite teammates that you've played with over the course of your dodgeball career?
Outside of recess?
Yeah, outside, or if you can choose one recess.
Oh, you get to choose
No, let's not do that.
I
Outside of recess.
wasn't going to name just one because they would all kill me.
Yeah, of course. Or you could if you want.
Yes. Hey, you shut up. Start that. Sorry, favorite players to have
Yeah,
played
favorite
with?
teammates.
Favorite teammates.
And why?
And why? Wow, there's lots, man. Having played so long and with so many different teams and people. Well, if you guys ever played with Chris and Byron, it's great because
Why?
Can you tell us why?
Yeah, can you tell us why?
oh, you guys don't like winning? No, they're two awesome guys. They're super fun to play with, and it just so happens that they also win. But they're really good guys and super fun. So if you ever get a chance, even if you don't want to win, but you will probably anyways, I would highly recommend trying to play with them outside of that. I really enjoyed playing with Cooper. Cooper, yeah, because he was one of the original guys that I actually looked up to when I first started playing.
Oh.
And when I first joined VDL as well, he was like the exec at the time, and
Except nobody.
yeah. But my play style emulates his very well. So when we do play, we complement each other very well, and our style of play is obviously very upbeat.
Anti-social Dodgers.
Yes.
Power dodgeball.
Power dodgeball. I think I'm pretty sure we invented that. Nobody.
3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 second ball count, and it's a good cardio workout if you guys have never tried. You either win in 10 seconds or you lose in 10 seconds. And it just keeps the night going, is that's what we promote, right? It's fantastic.
It's a hit workout. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty much a hit workout. Me and Koopel have probably thrown 6 balls in the span of that first opening rush 10 count. But our teammate on the opposite side is still like, what's going on? So after that, usually half the team is gone on their end, or me and Cooper dead. So it's super fun playing that sort of style. Otherwise, I really enjoy playing with you.
Oh, thanks.
You actually are.
Pay you later.
Excellent. You're a great teammate, and your pep talks are second to none.
Oh, thanks.
You really know.
China and. Was it the only team, or-
TT Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tier 2
Oh,
Tuesday.
What's the pep talk about?
Championship's a championship. Yeah.
Guys, we're in tier 2.
Oh, 2 girls, 1 cup?
Yeah. 2 girls, 1 cup.
To what?
Oh yeah, we were on.
Yeah,
that
I
team.
was on that
I was on the team too.
You were on that team?
Yeah.
With
This was a draft team.
Victor?
This was a draft team. Right?
Yeah. Victor was on that team too.
Is that the one?
Yes, Victor
with
was on the team.
Travis Tomlin and DeMello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were on the team?
I was on the
Oh
team too.
my god!
Who's our other girl?
Lily. No.
Yes, Lily.
Oh yes. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Yes, Lily was on the team too.
Rating is so good.
Just what was that?
This could've been so good.
That was a good team too.
This is a
Bird.
He got some good pep talks.
Right, he's got some good pep talks, and I think Enzo knows me quite well. And the type of player that I am, I can get quite heated at times, and he knows what to say to sort of calm me down a bit and get me sort of back on a level-headed sort of position so I can play at the level where I need to be. So I really appreciate that from him, and that's why I like playing with him sometimes. Because he's garbage otherwise.
Oh, Trash Alley right here.
Trash sandwich.
Like, who else?
Are there any like new up and comers that you like?
Byron, Chris, me.
Oh! Big three.
Strong.
What happened to Tron? Oh man.
Who?
Oh,
We don't talk about him here.
No, like there's a lot of people that I have played with that I really do enjoy playing with.
Yeah.
But I would say I don't know if you guys have enough time for all the people that like I really do like playing with. So
is there any like new up and comers that you want to play with that you have noticed?
Up and comers.
Because that was like the whole concept behind Team ADC too. Right?
Yeah, that's right. I kind of scouted or I guess recruited Dustin because he expressed that he wanted to play at a higher level because his like lower tier Thursday team he wanted more of a challenge. And again, being a Thursday director at the time, I got to talking with him and I asked him if he wanted to play with me next season, and he said, "Yeah, bring me up, man." And that's pretty much how Team ADC started.
Yeah.
And from
Back to
there-
back finals.
Finals, yeah.
Yeah,
Grand
back to
finals,
back
Back to
finals.
back grand finals.
Yeah.
Front door.
Oh my
Front door
goodness.
for one, and then
Back door.
back door for the other one.
I thought it
Pretty
was-
sure.
Okay.
I don't think it was front door for both. But yeah, Dustin was an up and comer. Alex Wu.
Alex was really good.
Alex Wu.
Makiko.
Makiko.
Yeah, Makiko. Anybody else need one?
Well,
Those are the
you
big
had
names.
Akina.
Gina
and
was on the first iteration of that team. Witten was on it.
Yeah.
Do we have a
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon
was
went.
on
I think that was the first season.
Yeah.
Or our first finals appearance.
Yeah.
Brandon
Oh,
was on
And then
it.
the second one was.
The second one was me, Dustin, Alex, Witten.
Pretty much Brandon replaced
We were-
Chino.
No, I replaced
Wasn't Lily
Brandon,
on that team
and then
too?
Brandon came back.
Second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily was on it the second
Who?
season.
Lily.
Lily.
Oh yeah.
Lily and
Lily, yeah.
Makiko or Lily and Akina?
I think
It was Lily,
Makiko.
Makiko and Akina first, right?
Yes, that was the
And
first.
then
Makiko
Lily
Makiko
replaced
and Lily.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Akina. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really like doing that sort of thing. So I'm not too sure who. I haven't had any in sort of my eye so far. I'm trying to remember now if there's anybody up and coming that I would bring up, but
Tieu.
Oh boy.
Boy.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Tieu.
Dylan.
Enzo.
The
Oh,
Ralph
Dylan,
brothers?
yeah,
Yeah, the Enzos.
Dylan, he's really
Dylan.
good.
Dylan. Yeah.
The
The-
Ralphs.
The Ralphs?
Yeah.
My cousins.
The Ralphs.
They're my
Yeah.
cousins.
For
yeah.
like real cousins.
All
And
those guys.
Hubert.
And his cousins.
Yeah.
And your cousins.
Hubert and his.
Yeah, we're playing with
The Doki
Hubert,
Doki group?
Keith,
Doki
and,
Doki.
Yeah,
Wasn't
the
it
Doki
like
Doki crew. Yeah,
Big
Keith.
Ball Club. I think
Yeah,
they,
those
they
guys.
play on too.
Similar
Wow, all those guys are coming up.
I know, yeah, I like those guys.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
fun to play,
yeah.
play with
I
and play
think there's
against.
3 guys or something. No, just two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like any veteran players that you have never had a chance to play with, or retired players that
You like,
haven't had a
I wish
chance
I
to play
played with them.
Yeah.
Retired players.
You play with Caroline?
I did play with Carolyn actually, but the
Post
team
CT?
post CT. This was during CT.
No, do you play with CT?
No, I don't think I ever played with CT. That would have been fun though. To play
CT's
with
fun,
CT,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Winning's fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like winning? Yeah, I played with Carolyn before the season that I only played with her one season, and the season that I did end up playing with her, it wasn't even all that much because I had to leave for the year when I was firefighting.
Oh.
So I was gone for like 2 seasons. It was Travis Tomlin, Nick Malika.
Nick
That's a good
Malika.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Malika was on it. I think it was either Shane, Brandon, and
Oh, I know that team.
it was some weird name that Travis came up with.
Wait,
I remember
Sex
that.
Cauldron?
No.
Oh.
I were against Sex Cauldron.
Oh, because that's a similar
That
team,
guy-
but
no,
Sex
it was-
Cauldron.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
right?
I know what team you're talking about.
Yeah, Carolyn was on that team, and I can't remember
remember
who
that
the
team. It's
other,
very scary.
that other girl was. But yeah, that was the only team that I played with Carolyn. With who else has
What season was that?
retired?
8 or 9?
A lot of people have
Lots
retired.
of-
Comes up to mind. Who's retired?
Rogan?
That was like season.
I played with Rogan and a team that shall not be mentioned.
This is where it came from.
That
I
was-
think I didn't write the first season and then the second season.
Whatever,
Too
Devs.
fast.
I don't know, Debs. I don't. We only remember the second season.
Whatever.
Yeah, this was the only evidence.
That was great. Who else retired? There was a girl named Catherine.
Cat. Oh my
Cat. Oh.
Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
She
awesome.
was crazy.
She's
good.
awesome. Yeah.
Who are all these
Great
people?
shagger, and she caught a
Caught a
lot of balls.
Yeah.
And she covered really well.
Yes, she was really smart. She reminds me a lot of Yams
Too. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
in terms
Oh.
of play style.
Yeah.
His first championship.
Was
Cat.
with
It was all
Dabs,
because
yeah,
of Cat.
Dabs and Cat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know him.
Like Cat, yeah. She saved this.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that are still playing back then are actually still playing now. I'm trying to remember if there's anybody else that has retired. I think
What about current players?
current players. I think we just went over that. I guess with the players that I like to play with. I guess now with all the up and coming players. I actually would like to get to play with a few of the SDL guys. I really want to sort of see what it's like playing with them.
You'll fit right in.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, big arms.
I'm sure I will.
Think about it. You won't like. There will be people that will be playing 1 or 6 other than you.
I'd be the most patient player on that team. I'd like to play a few teams with them, but I know they're always sort of stuck together on like the same team. So maybe try and break that mold and see if we can get them out of that.
They want to
sort
play
of
with
shell.
more new players too.
Okay, well that's good to know. Free spots on Tuesdays on my team if you guys want to play.
Ooh.
But I'll probably try and get them for next season if they're not already
Yeah, they're playing this.
taken.
Because from what I've heard for this season, there a couple of them like Cody and Stevie are only focusing on media and not playing SCL.
Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
Man.
so
One
they're-
of us.
yeah.
Got him.
Alright, next season. Come on, Derek. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I've had the chance to play with a lot of people in the
You
VL
play with
already.
Cat?
Yeah, Team China.
Team
Oh,
China.
that's right.
I played with.
Kennedy's, maybe?
Pop people.
Kennedy's? Mike and Matt?
Mike and Matt.
I have played with Matt.
No.
I don't think I've played with
team
Mike.
is that?
But I like playing against Mike Kennedy more than I do probably like playing with him.
He's so funny.
He's so
though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I see it when we play the Spartans every time.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Hilarious.
Me and Mike have fantastic trash talk. Like outside of those games,
Yeah.
it's great. Well, me, Mike, and Matt can.
Have you been to Fleming recently?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! Yes, I have. I was there when they did that.
What happened?
We're not. can we
Mike,
mention?
Mike
Yeah.
wrote.
We can cut it out. We can cut it out.
No, Mike wrote.
Spartans.
Spartans drool, recess drool.
Oh.
On the wall.
Yeah, it was just so fitting because Fleming's getting torn down
Yeah,
because they have
yeah.
that new school. So it was kind of like, I guess, like a time capsule thing, or maybe I don't know if they're demolishing the whole thing at Fleming, but it just made. It was just so cool because it was a school
Yeah.
of all places, and we're recess. You know, the whole school theme.
Yeah.
To have like Spartan rules and recess drills is just perfect.
Yeah.
We always have our
So
rivalry.
kudos to
Yeah.
you, Kennedys. That was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Did they take a photo of
I
it?
did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That was a solid burn.
Have you played with David?
Who?
That's fine.
Oh no, David.
Maybe.
David.
So,
He
David,
actually
I,
did.
I feel like I have played with
yes.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one-
we do-
so we were watching a video. I didn't even remember this, but we were watching videos of me, you, David.
You?
Yeah.
What kind of shit team is JT has
Yeah, I
blocked
was
it out of his
a
memory. This
Some was a
trumpet.
temp player
I was
for
a
that.
part-time player. Mo was on it. Mo was on it.
Mo was on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Nanya.
No,
Oh yeah, Nanya. Nanya business. What the fuck?
I was definitely not a Who else was on it?
Who
What was
were the
it? It was
ladies?
Lily.
David-
Who was the
David-
other girl?
David was on it. I was a part-time
Was it
player.
Monica?
He's
Oh yeah, Mon.
he's completely blocked this out from
So
his
did we
memory.
have Kenny as well? No.
Who?
What
Kitty.
season was this?
Ah, I forgot what season. It was a Monday team though.
I played for Nanya?
24. 23 or 24.
So it was like 3 years ago.
23. 23.
It's only 3 years ago. It's not that
Yeah.
I
long.
remember subbing
Was
for
it
your
23?
team.
Season 23.
It was only 3 years ago.
Nanya. Nanya business.
Nanya.
Nanya. I was like Nanya.
I remember that was a whole phase you went through where you asked people
Hey.
something about
You are
Nanya,
Nanya.
what Nanya is,
Like,
and then they said,
And the rocks.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Put it in Moana.
that's the only recollection I have of Nanya Business or whatever that team was. Man.
But yeah.
That must have been a
David
really
wasn't-
bad team if I was on it. Shit.
I mean, it's bad to begin with without you, so.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Wait, David was on that team?
David was on it.
Sorry, David. I don't remember that at all.
Wow.
So funny. We've been on so many teams. We don't even.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and I
Like,
feel
how many
bad.
I think there was something you just block out.
Yeah, like from season 5 until now season 29. I've cycled through so many teams, and I feel bad that I may forget a few people. So I apologize in advance.
Oh.
If I do, everybody. But yeah,
Or tell us about the infamous tier 2 teams. The draft one. Was it draft?
no, it was not
No.
a team. That was just a team that we made.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Give us the people on the team, because this is like a
Wait,
really
which
good
one? Which
first
one?
tier
Wednesday. The first tier 2. Yeah.
The first one was better.
The first one was the first one where
first one was
like
a
the
lot
lineup.
better.
If you look at the names on the lineup, this is like a legit tier 1 team.
Oh, I know. Like the thing with the VDL now is that with the influx of so much more talent from SDL and other leagues out there, the top 8 in tier 1 has gone a lot more competitive over the last like 4 or 5 seasons. Yeah. And it just so happened with the roster of myself, Shane Babu, Victor, Leslie,
Yeah,
Sylvia.
and Cam was on it. That's
And
6.
Jason.
Jason.
And
Oh,
Jason
Cam's really
Sam.
good.
Yeah,
Kind of good.
very underrated, I
Yes.
think.
It was
But yeah,
attendance too, right? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, there
week.
wasn't there one
yeah,
week where
first
you
week,
guys.
I was
week,
gonna
yeah,
get into that. Like
If you don't
the
show up, it's hard to come
exactly
back.
right. And if you don't show up against other tier 1 teams that do, it's really hard to put up numbers to stay in the tier. And it was funny because like the first week, the first 2 weeks before the retier is what killed us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 1, half the team or all of the team went to the wrong gym and time. I was the only one. I was the only one that was on time. So it was me and 5 other girls.
I was subbing for your
And-
team. I remember.
Yeah, and I think we may have gone like 2 wins, and then the week after that, the full team was there, but we had a really tough gym,
Yeah.
and we just like only got I think 4 or 5 wins,
Oh shit.
which put us at 6 for the first B tier.
Yeah.
So then we were in tier 2 for weeks 3, 4, 5, which really hurt our scores.
Yeah.
Obviously, we made it back into tier 1 the following weeks, but
I think that Wednesday night was really tough too.
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
with
It was a
the
strong
two
Wednesday, yeah.
To like a
Cody's-
few SDL teams like
two
came.
Cody's and
Was it
My
RPA?
SC, my
yeah. What
Oh,
was
your
it?
team.
Durance.
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 Oh, Durance, yeah.
yeah.
Slay, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was Slay that night?
I think so.
I thought it was Thursday. You guys were
We had one Wednesday season.
on. Not the Goldens. Not the
Not that one.
season.
I don't think it was that one.
Don't think it was that. It was a different season.
I think it was. Yeah, it was the one after.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But attendance really hurts nowadays because remember that first draft season we had with all the girls with Colleen? Remember her team didn't make it to tier 1 either?
Yep.
Yeah, who was on your team? It was so good.
Oh
too.
yeah, oh fuck! I had Bo, Dan Lewis, Trung, Tomlin, myself, with Helene and Terry.
That doesn't sound that good in hindsight.
Yeah.
Maybe at the time.
Yeah, at the time it was alright.
But yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
one or two teams.
Plan B made it.
We one or two teams.
yeah, like Deb said, like attendance is
Hurts.
a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Again, with so many different leagues out there,
Yeah.
and being able to provide that dodgeball sort of product, a lot of players have opted to play in multiple leagues, and it makes it really tough to play in more than one when the time slots don't match, especially when you're traveling from Vancouver to Surrey or vice versa, and it really does end up hurting some of the teams when their more skillful players aren't there to help them get some of the wins that they should be getting. And that's unfortunately what happened with us that particular season, and we played really hard obviously to get where we wanted to go, but I think we were short maybe by a few wins, which was unfortunate, but we understood that we put ourselves in that spot from that first week. We could have played better, but we didn't. So that's how we that particular team ended up in tier 2 for playoffs. But even then, tier 2 again, like I said, the competition's gotten really, really good now.
Yeah.
Tier 2 is nothing to laugh at, man. Those guys are fucking good.
Yeah.
I was on the final against you guys.
Oh, I know.
Is it Mickey Mouse now?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, so even though on paper our team was really good, we had it tough going into tier into tier 2 finals, grand finals. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, grand finals. Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was.
We were backdoor. We were backdoor.
You guys back?
No, we were backdoor.
Really?
Yeah.
I
We were backdoor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I remember it was
Tier 6.
Well, anything can happen in playoffs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Anything can happen in playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of playoffs.
Yeah.
You have playoffs. You can have the best team 0-2 because they all decide to suck or something, which happens more often than you think.
Oh yeah.
It's always makes it. It also makes it a lot more entertaining.
That's why you actually play the games, and
Yeah.
not just.
Yeah, you could be like champion one season, the following season go 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I listened to your guys' podcast and I watched the videos that you guys put out too, just because I think it's fun to listen and to watch and to make fun of how bad Enzo is, or how old James is, that sort of thing, which is a really good segue into. I remember, I think it was, I want to say on one of you guys' podcasts or one of your things that you guys did that regarded trash talking. Oh man, I think that's one thing that's kind of gone way of the dodo. If you guys don't get that reference, it's because it's a super old reference and I'm old.
That's why I don't know what that reference is.
Yeah.
Nice try, James. So the dodo went extinct, which feels like the trash talk has gone. Which, I don't know, I've always been a fan of the trash talk, and I know you mentioned how there wasn't as much of it anymore. But I don't know. I enjoy the trash talk, but I think you obviously have to know your audience a little bit with the trash talk. You wouldn't just do that to
Every other team.
you wouldn't just do that to a team that you don't know, just because it obviously does give the wrong impression.
Welcome to tier 1, bitch.
Like,
He's done that before.
You'll fucking John Cena over there.
Trash talk. Right. I just think obviously you have to, like I said, know your audience a little bit. But once you do get to know your audience, it just becomes a different aspect of the game, a little bit of a mental game that you play with the other person across from you, and it adds a different level, a different element to the game that I think makes it a little bit more fun. You guys probably see it with Trong and Yams all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so
Love it.
entertaining to watch those two get at it, just because the fact that they're married now, and they were even like that before they got married, right? And to just see the trash talk back and forth between those two, more so from Trong. Yams is not as bad, but when it's Trong, she hates that guy.
It's because Yams lets her play do the talking.
Where Trong just talks.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I remember I think either you, Enzo, or someone else mentioned it, and how it has sort of died down a bit. I don't know. I wouldn't say I would like to see it, come up and everybody just start, oh, you fucking suck, man, and start this whole thing. But it would be nice to sort of see some more, I'll say, friendly banter.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We all do
love
it.
that.
Just like a little touch of the floor, just a little bit. If you guys have watched my videos, like when I play playoffs, I fist pump
I
all
love
the
it.
time.
I love it.
All
He
the
goes
time,
like
man.
this. Yes.
And it just feels good, right? It's fun, especially when you know the other person, and it's there's no feelings that are hurt.
Yeah.
Because you're both, where you're both coming from, and if that person got me, they do the same thing, and I don't think anything of it. feel a little bit shitty because I suck. But you know, what goes around comes around, and I'll get them back eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, unless they're like Debs, who's my
Kryptonite.
right? But it would be fun to see that a little bit.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is that like just don't take dodgeball so seriously.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, and you know, enjoy the people you're playing with and against, and just kind of make sure the dodgeball is secondary to hanging out with your friends. And like, I mean, I guess if you're gonna chirp your friends anyways, you might as well chirp them on the dodgeball court,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Hell yeah.
like I have a lot of fun playing against Chocolate Factory because I spared nobody's feelings on that team. I mean, I don't win against them very often, but you know.
But when you do,
But when I do, I let them know.
And if you don't win, you have fun.
Yes.
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 yeah, I don't know. I just what are your guys' sort of take on the trash talking bit? I know Debs, you're super nice. Trung, you're
You honestly don't know me very well.
I don't, maybe.
Hurt her at all?
I fist pump against people that I don't like.
That's true.
Most of your
maybe-
trash talk, like when you're recording on the camera too.
Yeah, subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just don't see it as often because I'm not in your corner or not. I know, Sung, you're a little bit more of a conservative player on that regard because I know you regard or hold a lot of, I'll say, higher skilled players to a certain level, and I think you respect them enough to not do that yet. You should do it more, James.
Everybody's trash.
I trash talk after the game is done.
Oh man, that's different.
I know it is.
It's not trash talk outside the game. That's just talk.
Yeah, it is.
And I think you do it pretty frequently.
Raph does it.
So
Enzo does a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the top three. I think the third best trash talker would be Carson too.
Carson Wall.
Carson
I
Wall.
can see that.
Yeah, but he trashes
Yeah.
himself though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to do much to Carson because like we just trip.
He'll take care of himself.
He'll just trip over himself.
Yeah, some of the best trash talk you'll get is between Recess and Spartans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then and that again, that trifecta of more Resets, Spartans. I don't know if you guys trash talk Resets as much.
Mike Kennedy
Mike?
does a lot.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's mostly Mike, right?
He'll like move up to the line, go.
And then just get smoked.
Yeah.
He'll be like so close.
Well, my favorite was Mike trash talking Giselle. He was like at one point he was like praising Giselle. I was like, oh man, Giselle's like has like gotten so much better. She's like this amazing player. And then he goes to showdown. It's like Giselle's washed up. Like right on camera. I was like,
Oh, that's so funny.
Right? Yeah. Just that personality from Mike is just awesome.
Yeah.
He's so like,
so funny.
quick and clever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I remember like after our Sex Gods win, like he came up to the camera like, "This Yams, I taught her everything she knows."
Yeah, things like that. I think should maybe not necessarily. I don't want to say come up, but like just should happen more naturally. And that I think that would just come with a little bit more time. But it just makes it so much more fun. Makes it more lighthearted. And brings more fun out of it too. I think.
I think what's happened is that like in the past of like the olden days of dodgeball, when the community was a lot more tight knit, well, it wasn't as much players as it is now in terms of like the top tier.
Yeah.
Everyone knew everyone. We all like hung out afterwards and drank beer, ate after.
Yeah.
We could trash talk to any one of us. Now, as the league's gone a lot bigger, more players have expanded and gone into tier 1. There's a lot more like unknowns. Like, well, I don't really know him. He's a tier 1 player, whatever. I can't really trash talk them. So there's a lot more players that don't want to really express vocally in trash talk,
Yeah.
and then they don't want to hurt each other's feelings or whatever. But as the community starts to play with each other more, with a lot more players coming in tier 1, and we get more comfortable, I think the trash talking will come back.
I think so.
So yeah, so I'm hoping that it will, because it was a lot of fun. Like back in the day, you know, from what I heard, because I wasn't there, but you know, back in the day.
Back in the day.
So,
Good save.
so yeah, I'd like to experience that one day. So yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah.
So it will come back as the community starts to get closer and more players start to play with other new players that they've never played with before.
Like I know I'll personally trash talk Coop, Mike Kennedy, and Matt Kennedy
Mhm.
all the time when
Yeah.
we play the Spartans. Either like right when we started walking up to the line, and just like little bullshit with each other, and then recess and Mo resets always have a pitcher bet whenever
Oh
we
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
I can't remember where we stand, but I'm pretty sure we're either even. Don't quote me. We're either even, or I think they owe us.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
you. That's regular season. Right?
Regular season. Yeah. It's pretty fun. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I wanted sort of to bring up, just because I remembered it, and I think it's a fun topic to go over, just because I love that aspect of the game, or in any sport.
Any sport, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Need more celebration too.
Hey, that's part of it, man.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Trong should have a Selly 101, eh?
Yeah, he does. He should.
We should have a montage of him doing.
Of Kung Sellies?
Fucking LeBron over here. did all the NBA players.
Oh, you know what we should do? If oh man, I think that'd be a little bit much during playoffs, but just during regular season, if you have like group sellies like they do in football.
Oh, yo! Hey, Wednesday, Tuesday,
Crash Bros?
Wednesday. Yeah,
Let's go.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Crash Bros. Do it. But yeah,
I mean,
just
thanks
like
to us, you deserve to get Sally. You know?
I fully agree. Fully agree. Yeah.
Anything else to ask?
Did you have anything else on top?
No, I don't think so. What about like your best or your most embarrassing moments in dodgeball?
Embarrassing.
Let's go with best first. We'll see the embarrassment after.
Oh, yeah?
What was your
Okay.
best memory
Amateur.
in dodgeball?
The best memory, hands down, is
Winning
our
recess?
season 14 recess win.
All right. Yeah.
It's very hard not to rate that as the top moment memory that I have, just because if you guys were there,
Yeah.
you would understand, and it was just crazy to have that kind of response from people that were just watching at the time.
Probably still the only team that everyone was clapping for, like at the very end. Like
Yeah,
for a
we
long
were
ass time,
genuinely like the team that everybody wanted to win because of the team and the people, rather than, let's say, maybe the skill, perhaps. I guess we've built up a pretty good reputation, I think, coming up through the VDL and all the teams that we played, and just how we carried ourselves, and for I guess those reasons, pretty much everybody in the gym had our back at the time. And
Was it Spartans?
No,
Psychedelics.
Nah, Spartans didn't make it.
Oh, Psychedelics. Okay.
Yeah, we played Psychedelic.
That's a good team too. Psychedelics.
Yeah, that was a really good team, and it's funny, we were on a roll that day, and for those of you that have won and have gotten there, there's a certain feeling when you get on a roll, and everything just clicks, and sort of, I'll say, the stars align, for lack of a better term. But we made it through the winners bracket all day. What is it? You need 3, 6, 9, 12 wins,
12 wins,
to essentially win it all. We went 12-2, and like we only dropped 2 games all day.
On a Thursday night.
Yeah, on a Thursday night.
That's tough.
By the way, which is always the most competitive.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. We didn't want to say anything. Just like all the athletes out there, we take it one game at a time, sort of thing. We didn't want to say anything to sort of jinx it, and we were all feeling it at the time. But we ended up, after each game that we lost, we just came back and won 2 straight to end the series, which is always feels really good. And and after we did win, it was kind of weird. If you guys watched the video, it wasn't sort of like a definitive win at the time. There was a decision that kind of like took it away, where a few balls went at Queenie, who was playing on the right side, to us, and like 2 or 3 balls went, and one of the side refs took their time to call it out, and we were all just kind of like recess was just standing there like, we're just waiting. Did we win? And then the side ref was like, yep, he's out, and then we just like, ah! So it was kind of like delayed. We weren't sure if we had won, but regardless, I don't think that took too much away from it. super fun. The whole gym was chanting and cheering our name, which I have yet to see for any other team. I don't think.
Hey, we did it for TOC. It was Ocean
Recess.
Park. And we like recess.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Started it.
But none of us won, unfortunately. Yeah, that would be my most fond memory, I would say. And yeah, I'd say that would be my top one. But I also really like it.
Oh, okay, oh yeah.
I fucking got you really good on that one-handed
The one-handed
snake.
catch.
Yeah, the one-handed catch was really good. That was season 22. Catch 22 you're playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, of the whatever number of views, I was 90% of those winning. I just love watching it over and over again.
You're like a sunk.
Yeah. Just for that one
That
video,
clip
though.
has like 700.
Yeah, his showdown with Tyson was like, I don't know, most viewed
Yeah.
by one person.
Link us the video. So
Same
we can
IP
include
the
it
whole
on
way.
there.
Yeah.
And then, most embarrassing moment. You guys have seen me, like, get super heated and just like, it's like, fuck, god damn it. And yeah, those are always embarrassing in hindsight.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're in the moment, you're like, I'm really upset at myself when I know I am a better caliber player and I don't play to that standard.
Yeah.
Which, when I get angrier, I get a lot worse. So, which makes me more angry.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like a really bad cycle. So usually after I calm down or something, I'll realize, oh fuck, that was kind of dumb. Right.
Don't feel.
And plus, it's tough too because like optics wise, it doesn't look the best, especially because I'm an exec too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I flip out like that.
Director.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When I'm a director and I flip out, but that's just the you know, the
Competitive side, yeah.
competitiveness inside me, and some people might take it the wrong way, but it's 100% not directed at anybody but myself.
It's like when Dustin gets mad.
Oh yeah.
He's mad at himself.
Yeah.
Fuck Dustin,
Move faster!
Stupid legs! Where's so long? Yeah, I totally get you, Dusty. Yeah,
So good.
yeah. So those moments are always kind of, you know, slightly embarrassing. And then I think everybody knows the one where I was yelling at Victor. Again, in the moment, it felt fine because it was dumb.
Hey, you weren't alone though. Shane was.
Yeah, Shane was there too.
Wait, sorry, for the people that
Yeah.
don't know what happened, can you explain the whole situation?
Maybe
Can
we'll
we-
post
can we
this.
insert clip?
Yeah, insert
we'll
clip.
post it.
Yeah, should I go up there? Should I still go through it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
brief explanation.
Yeah, so for a little bit of context there, I guess, for people, it ended up being a super funny moment, and you know, people tease me about it all the time, and I don't care because I you know, I look back at it right now and I'm still laughing too. But what happened was, it was the team that should have been in Tier 1 but wasn't, that we just went over with Victor, Shane, J-Sam, Mikiko, no, not Mikiko,
Not Mikiko.
sorry, Sylvia and Leslie. It was the finals, and it ended up being one-on-one with Victor on our team and John Wick on the other. And people who play this game long enough have different opinions of the showdown and what it sort of entails. And I, for one, hate showdowns because it's a coin flip. And it's not advantageous for someone who is better than the other person to go into a showdown. So when Victor was holding out against John Wick in that particular situation, myself and Shane were very vocal on the sideline. For the full 10 seconds, I'm pretty sure we were yelling at Victor to fucking end it. Kill him. Don't go to showdown. Fucking end it. And that will, I guess, live on in infamy. But yeah, that's, I would say, would be one of the more funny moments in my dodgeball career. And for those people that have been playing long enough, they get why myself and Shane would have said that. But for those that don't, it's just funny, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That we were just going ballistic on the sideline.
So funny.
I think even if you get it, it's still hilarious.
Yeah. It's more, I think it's more funny if you do get it.
Yeah, I know.
You can see Claudia in the background, just like against the wall, just like, oh god.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Because I was in that game, I was like, oh my god. I'm still laughing, man.
But yeah, I mean, in that situation, would you guys not want to end it as well?
Oh, no, man.
There,
Oh, yeah.
he had a clear shot. I would have taken at least one shot on him.
Right?
I don't like showdowns either. I lose in showdowns.
See, everybody has the reasons why they don't like
I would
showdowns.
take it. If I get caught by, like, if I throw and you catch me, just like, hey, good catch.
Yeah, it was the right play.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
got a good catch. Yeah.
I
Don't
think
take
so
it.
too. I think the thrower always has the advantage, right? Like,
In the showdown?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
No,
that's
before
before
showdowns.
Yeah.
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 Yes. I think the thrower always has the advantage,
Yeah.
even in the showdown.
Yeah.
Because, like, for throwers and gunners like myself, there's nothing worse than dying with 2 balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just like, fuck, I should have thrown.
Exactly. You always have that regret. It's like just.
Like,
it
why did I
feels
hold
so
up?
bad?
Yeah.
And it's worse because you're a thrower. Maybe
Yeah.
if you're more defensive player and you play conservatively, you're a good catcher, and you die with 2 balls, that's fine because you do it all the time.
Yeah.
But if a thrower dies with 2 balls, I can tell you there's nothing that feels worse.
Yeah.
In your head, you're always like, why did I not throw? Why did I not
Exactly.
throw?
Why did I not?
I always throw. I throw a date.
Nobody counted this time.
And it just throws you off.
I missed my cue.
Yeah, there was no count. 10, 9, 8. Oh my throw.
I would almost always want to lose or die with no balls than with obviously even 1 or 2
Or
balls.
2 balls, especially.
If I throw my 2 balls in the showdown and I can't kill the guy, then I think as a decent thrower, that's on me.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I die after that, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Fair enough. What about like, who is your dodgeball kryptonite and who is an easy out for you?
Ryan's been maybe.
Kryptonite. My kryptonite has always been either Debs or.
Oh,
It's true.
it's true.
Like the straight. You like the straight.
I find it really hard to throw at Yams or Stella because we play on the same team, so they sort of know my throws a little bit because we warm up together all the time.
Yeah.
Especially Stella. We've been warming up together for more than 10 years,
Yeah.
and it hasn't changed. Just like the traditions and whatnot. So yeah, it's really hard to throw at Stella for me because I feel like I can't really do anything new that she hasn't seen before. But you always seem to catch my balls no matter where I throw it somehow.
Talent.
Yeah, that's totally it. But I'd say those 2 would be my
Kryptonites.
biggest kryptonites. I'm trying to think if there were any guys that always had my number. Playing on the wings, I would say Stebby,
Yeah.
I find very hard to fucking kill. He's just really good at blocking, and he's a good catcher, and he recovers after throwing very, very well.
Yeah.
Uh,
For a tall guy, too.
exactly,
Yeah.
for a tall guy. He's got a sick arm, too. So,
And you don't know when he's gonna throw. If you
yeah,
pump
his
fake
fakes are really good. They're
They're
believable.
convincing.
They're very convincing.
Like J-Fu level, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I would say because he always plays opposite me on the teams that we do play against each other on. So I'd say those 3. Easy outs. Tron's pretty easy. I'm just trying to think. Who else would I fist pump on?
Is there anybody from Thursday's team that wears red?
Oh, we murder them all the time in playoffs.
Recently.
Yes.
Not necessarily on that team, actually. I don't find that I
Nick.
kill anybody in particular. Nick Malika, I
Malika?
love killing because he's so blind. He
Yeah.
plays a lot of tunnel. He has a lot of tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And
He's
I'm
not
really
very good at blocking either.
Yes, he's not very good at blocking, and I know that he's super scared of my crosses when we do play against him. But now that you guys are a little bit better at covering him, I think he's a little bit more. He's cheating more when he didn't used to. So if you guys stopped, watch him just die. Just do it. Just do it for like week 1, and we'll see what happens. Just to, like,
Don't cover it.
don't cover week one and just be like, what happened?
Yeah.
But no, I don't think anybody on Hot Pot I have like their number on. I don't think. I hit all of them out equally.
Zero each. Can't even hit Kevin.
Ah, God, that guy. Me and Kevin have really good battles on the right side because he plays your 6, right?
Yeah.
I think it's really 50-50 with the more recently. I'd say he's probably beating me 70-30. Let's see. Yeah, I think easy outs. I don't really consider anybody like an easy out. If I hit you out, then I guess you're easy.
Trump.
Yeah,
Trump.
He's slippery. Yeah, no, I like off the top of my head, I can't think of any one person in particular that I just like will destroy every time.
Right now.
Yeah, no, I can't. Maybe later if we can come back to it, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I can't think of anyone.
Last one for me is as an exec.
Ooh, easy.
Can you just talk a little bit about Baker and why people should be an exec?
Hey.
Well, I don't think I can divulge too much of Baker because I think that would take a lot away from it. I'm sure there's been some stories, looping out there, but I think it's an experience that you have to go to fully understand and to enjoy. But at the same time, I don't want to go into that because I don't want Baker to be the reason why people join. It's not the reason I joined. It just happened to be, it happened to be a perk, an extent of being, an exec. And I think if people were looking to get into it, it's very rewarding. You meet so many great people, whether it be within the organization or people out of it. And it's just a really good sense of family that you probably don't get in other sort of recreational sports that you play. People want to come to dodgeball, and it's very different to say that of other sports. I mean, you play, I guess you want to see your teammates, your team, and you come with them in most other sports.
Yeah.
But I feel in dodgeball, when, the same group of people get together, you know who you're playing against, you're like, this is going to be a really good night.
Yeah.
Right? You just have that feeling as soon as you get in there. And
then we go eat after.
yeah, you go eat after, and that's not something that happens outside of that either when different teams mingle.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get that sort of inter-team friendship.
It's not like that for volleyball
Or any other sport.
Yeah.
No, it's different.
Yeah.
So that aspect, but if for the people that are sort of on the fence or are sort of wondering what it's all about, that sort of sense of spirit and community that sort of maybe have brought you into the league, or maybe piqued your interest, or one of the execs came up to you and kind of made your day. If you become an exec or get on that track, that sort of feeling gets amplified like 100-fold. It's just a really good support system in every aspect for your life, for for your dodgeball, your skills, everything all around. With myself, you, Sung, and Gino all having been or are currently still execs. I know you guys can speak to it too. It's just it's a different it's a different feeling, and you just have to sort of take a chance and dive into it and immerse yourself. Don't be afraid, because you've got such a great group of people there, and they make you feel super welcome. And there's there might be a few awkward things with Gino not wearing shirts and pants and stuff. But shit, I just probably turned off a lot of people.
Not doing
Cut that out, cut that out.
Yeah.
You get Manny though.
Ah, fuck yeah, you get Manny.
And Sasha.
Yes,
yeah,
and Sasha. Yeah, those two guys. Fuck.
Those two guys fuck.
No, that was intentional.
There's no comment.
These two guys, fuck.
That was all deliberate. But yeah, if anything, those two guys would get you into it. I mean, yeah, I think becoming an exec was one of the best things that I have ever done in my life up until now, and that's like 11, 10, 12 years and counting still. So, and the great thing is, there's always new people, and they always have their own sort of, reasons and stuff for getting in, and it's, for the most part, it's all the same, right? You know why you joined, I know why I joined, right? And it could always be tied back to how someone that you either looked up to, or you really enjoyed the way that someone introduced you, talked to you, or made you feel, that sort of thing. And I think that's one of the greatest parts about being an exec. And for me as a director to keep going, I love sort of sparking that interest in the sport and to give back. So yeah, do it. For lack of a better term, I guess.
Because they still had the best execs too.
Second best, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We had the best execs. Jackie, Ian.
No names. We know.
You know.
Yes. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I guess being an exec, most people will say it's because the execs, like previous execs, I guess talked them into it or sold them into like buying in on this idea of community and whatever. Funny enough, JT was saying like it's because of people you look up to or people like execs talk to you and then you kind of talk you into it. When I first started, those execs were Matt Ho. Hold on, there's one more, and Kyle Schmidt. It's just like regardless of how they are, like when you're new and execs are so welcoming. When you're like first or second season playing tier 5, tier 6, you throw like 20 kilometers an hour. They still make you feel welcome, and like they'll still invite you to come out and eat, and they'll still talk with you, and there's really no judgment there. You're just there for a good time.
Yeah, welcoming's a good word.
Since you were talking about being an exec
Yeah.
and joining the exec, speaking of which, we have a couple of new execs this season. Monday, joining the League Ops is a Miss Andrea Lamb. Shout out to her. I don't know who she is, but
There'll be a picture here.
okay.
that Gino will be
a picture
editing.
here.
So creepy, just like
Just over here.
Yeah, Gina got all the pics.
Yeah.
Media guy.
And joining the Thursday League Ops is Alex Wu.
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah.
So congrats.
You know
to the
Alex.
new execs.
Welcome.
All right. Now I think Enzo had a special question.
Oh,
Mr. JT.
Sick.
who's your dream team? Dodgeball.
My dream team.
Let's
in
say
dodgeball?
4 other guys and 2 girls.
4 other guys and the girls. Well, I think my girls are going to be pretty easy. That's going to be Yams and Stella. Their chemistry and their chemistry and their level of skill is unmatched in our league, I think. I might be again a little biased because I played with them for over 10 years, but I've seen it all through those 10 years, and I think it's really hard to overcome that. But if you can meet it, I think there are definitely very skilled females out there that can definitely match them in skill. But I think it's their chemistry together that sort of puts them over the top. They can throw, they can cover, they can do everything that they need to do. It's just ridiculous. Yams' dodgeball IQ is probably like the best in the league, and Stella's ability to be able to cover and especially myself. She covered my ass all the fucking time because she plays with me. It's great. Bailed me out so many times. I'd go with those two girls. And then the guys, it definitely gets a little bit harder because there's a lot more selection in that regard. But just, I guess, with the guys that I have played with and I guess have seen, my dream team would consist of... I think one of Byron or Chris. I don't think I would have both of them on there.
Okay.
There's only so many 1s and 6s.
Don't get me wrong; they're both obviously fantastic players. I don't know; it's tough, but I'll stick with what I said. One of, just because there's so much selection and being able to have them. I would really like Stebby on the team. Just from what I've seen, I've only played with him the one time in SDL in the on the team that should have won that particular SDL playoffs.
Oh, Tuesday. I remember that.
So that's 3, 2 more. I'm trying to think now.
That's still 2.
No, that's 2. So 2 more. Well, this is tough. Putting me on the spot with this one. I didn't get to think too much.
Your dynamic duo.
Fly him
dynamic
back.
duo?
Fly him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think me and Rob are pretty good together.
You're like killed together. You all threw catches together.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think you have to have a certain level of
Right or die.
chemistry together to be able to throw like that.
Yeah, I know.
So, regardless of what people say, I think that it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to have Rob back on the team with me on the right side. But we did some amazing things on that side.
You guys are hard to like. There's no other duo that.
No one else really does 1-2.
No.
Yeah. The 1-2's something special.
Yeah.
Hopefully Rob comes back in a little while. I miss that guy. And that leaves what? One more?
One more.
One more.
Ba-bum.
I feel like you need a middle.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking for like a good. I'm looking for like a good middle that does.
To be honest, though, Team ADC when he was playing middle with the ball, that worked pretty well too. So.
Yeah.
But they still need a middle.
Top tier middle.
Or just anyone. It can
Teams.
even be on paper.
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, please.
I mean,
I don't have his money.
throwing James on my dream team. Sure. He's paying me later.
Yeah. Unplanned, unscripted.
Yeah,
the script. Show me the script.
it's blank. There's nothing here, guys. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good dream team. I think.
It's alright. Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright. It's alright. I think we'd all get along. I think for the most part. Yeah, chemistry has a lot to play in a lot of the things. So even like when you put the dream, see when I was putting the dream team together, I'm trying to think of like people that would play well together.
Yeah.
Like, not just like pure
Skill.
like pure skill and talent.
Yeah.
Just because it's shown that it
doesn't always work.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily the case, right? So, yeah. I think it's a pretty good dream team, right?
Pretty good team.
You're not on it. He's
Yep.
not on it.
Yeah. Pretty good. I mean, that by default makes it pretty good.
You're not on it.
Just keep it with the flow, boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
This man speaks truth.
I've seen some shit. Like literal shit.
You're sitting next to him.
Gee.
That's all the questions I had.
Do you quickly? You want to go over the new rules that are coming up?
Oh, just a small amendment to the rules is that last season we introduced the rule where if you are called with a dead ball and you roll it over, but it rolls out of bounds or it's unplayable, or it rolls out of bounds before it becomes playable, like it doesn't roll past your shoe and you just let it out or whatever, the penalty was to roll another ball over. However, we weren't clear enough on which ball should be rolled over. We thought it was pretty clear. We just thought, just roll a ball over, it doesn't matter. But apparently, we're not adults and we can't, figure that out. This season, what we're gonna do is when the refs call a dead ball and it rolls out of bounds, the refs are gonna stop the game, get that ball back to the player, and then return a ball closest to the center line. And if not, then any ball that the team has, they can talk about it if they want.
So the game has to be stopped.
The game has to be stopped.
More responsibility for the refs.
That's I feel that's not gonna happen with half the game.
Well, we thought it would be okay because this rule was only called a handful of times.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really impact the game that much if we stop it right away.
And it's also usually happening when there's less players.
Yeah, when there's fewer players around. So it'll be the refs will be focusing more on these calls.
Yeah.
It'll be easier to call and
Less disruptive to the flow and stuff.
yeah. And also kind of like headshots, I think as you get more repetitions in, people will acknowledge it and eventually we can get that out of the way and then we'll be able to referee it properly.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Scenario. Guy's holding 2 balls, whatever, against another person.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, dead ball. Ah, fuck, I gotta roll this over. But I roll it out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
But as it's rolling out of bounds type of thing, I throw my second ball,
Mm-hmm.
and then this goes out of bounds. Or, like, it's really close. And then I hit that person. Should the game have been stopped already? Or, like, how does that... I feel that some situation like that might happen.
That
like,
might happen.
Two,
yeah.
like another person actually throws a ball, and I threw my dead ball out of bounds type of thing.
I would leave that up to the refs' discretion, and depending on when the refs call it and when the player releases the ball, or even when the ball hits the player.
Yeah.
Because it can be in the air when the refs stop the game, and
Yeah.
that hit will be void.
Void, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, what what would you say should be the ref's discretion, like leaning towards? Is
I would
right
say
before the throw is thrown or right before the player gets hit?
I would say the discretion, like the ref should call it whenever they think the ball is no longer like in the court or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And just call it like if it affects the play, it affects the play, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always gonna.
The spirit of the rule is the other team didn't have a fair chance to play the ball.
Yeah.
So the team that didn't get a chance to play the ball should get all the benefits.
Yeah.
Because the other team fucked up, so they shouldn't get penalized for it.
Because I think the most difficult part would be if like there's more than just me, and I have a teammate as well that doesn't know what I'm doing, what's happening here, and I just threw my dead ball over to the side, and then they're just playing their own action.
I would say if the refs come talk together and it's 50-50, call the player safe.
Okay.
Yeah. The spirit of the rule is so that the game is not unfun. Because if you have if you're owed that ball and you have no chance to get it, that's not fun. That's unfair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we're coming from.
And does the dead ball that's now on the other side, do they start with the ball or is it just on the ground?
They can have it on the ground. They can start with it if they want.
Okay.
That's up to the player.
Okay.
Yeah, they get all the benefits.
Okay.
Justin?
I'm with this guy.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll give
I
it a
trust
shot.
our rules calm guy.
All right.
What if like let's say you're holding 2 balls, right?
Yep.
You roll 1 ball, but then that one went out of bounds, and at the same time the guy on the other side threw a ball at you. That means because you have to give up another dead ball, right?
No, depends on when they call the dead ball. Because once they call the dead ball, the game should stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't get caught with like your other ball now is dead because like that one didn't go all the way back.
Yeah. No. Because if they call the other one dead, then the game has stopped. If they didn't call it dead, then you block with a live ball.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
That's why we decided to call it stop the game.
Okay.